Went to a yoga class today. Last workout of the 2023 year. And I was just enjoying how good I felt. Because I've been going to that yoga class on Sundays, just 1 hour on Sundays, every week for like the past 4 months. And I remember how I felt the first time I went, even though, I've been doing jujitsu for 2 years. I lift weights, run, all this stuff. I had already started my daily stretching thing, and it's a very basic yoga class. Like I'm probably, I don't know if I'm one of the younger people there, but there are people older than me. And there's probably people younger than me too, but it's not like a super young class. It's just like a, you know, maybe beginner to intermediate level yoga class, but it's just right? It's 1 hour. And when I went there the first time, like 4 months ago, I could barely move. I could barely do the things they were doing. And then today, I just, like, I enjoyed it. I felt good in the poses. Eagle pose, not so much, but just like the basic thing, like, downward facing dog, upward facing dog, warrior two, very basic things, but stuff that 4 months ago I had a hard time with. And today I, am in a place where I can be in downward facing dog and, like, just be comfortable, like not get tired, not have all the weight on my shoulders. Like, I could probably, I'm sure I can't be there indefinitely, but I could be there for a long time. Like, it's actually, it's supposed to be a resting stance. But if your body is not in alignment, it's an exhausting stance. So, I'm in a place where I can rest in that stance and it feels good. And, the weight displacement is working in a good way. So I was just enjoying that. I was enjoying how strong you can feel when you're doing yoga. Like the strength of holding your own body up. That's a real strength. It's different from the strength of being able to squat, 300 pounds, or deadlift 400 pounds, or bench press, 300 pounds or whatever. Because there's people who can do that who can't do yoga. There's people who can do yoga who can't bench 300 pounds. But it's a really, I would say that the strength that I feel doing yoga, when I feel good doing yoga, is a more empowering kind of strength than the strength that I feel when I'm lifting weights. Because it's an internal strength, right? Like, when you're doing yoga, all you have is yourself, unless you do whatever, like use blocks or whatever, weights. People I don't use any of that stuff. I'm more of a purist. But like, when you're in downward facing dog or in plank and going through your vinyasa flow, right? From plank to you know to cobra or upward facing dog, then to downward facing dog, and you feel strong in that flow. That's a great feeling. That's such a beautiful feeling, of strength. And it's different. It's a lot different from lifting weights and being able to have a good set or do a good rep with a lot of weight, which is also a good feeling. But that you're dealing with something external to you, and with yoga, it's strictly internal. It's a different kind of strength. I would say it feels more empowering than lifting weights and being able to lift a certain amount of weight. It's hard to put into words, but there's something very, for me personally, because I've never been a flexible person, because until really like the last year, I've never worked hard and consistently on my flexibility. But now that I'm doing it, now it's a priority. And to feel that potency, that strength in a yoga pose feels really good. And that's, again, bringing it back to the concept of consistency, right? I mean, I'm only going to yoga once a week. Granted, I'm doing a bunch of other things, and I have my daily stretching that I do. But yoga once a week for an hour, but every week. Like, in the past 4 months, I've maybe missed two times when I was out of town or whatever. But other than that, I'm there every week, and that makes a big difference. And just in those 4 months, I've become like a different person. So anyway.